Okay, welcome to the video on how to make a TTRPG in slash Dungeons and Dragons map in Google Slides. So make a new Google slide and then just remove all the text because you don't really need it. And for background, you can just choose a green grass background, or you can upload your own image, which is what I would recommend for to be more detailed and stuff. So I'm going to make a 5x5. So we have, or 5x2 is honestly simpler, but let's just go 5x3. So we want 15 slides. There we go. So now we're going to make an arrow, which will, you know, take to the right. So we put in the middle, like that, and we then go ahead and color it to be a bright red. And since this is the bottom left corner, we want to rotate it so it points up. Just like that. So on here we can then copy and paste this over to our next slide, and then copy and paste that arrow, then flip it, and then bam, we have the basic. So we want to go and copy and paste that all the way to the fifth slide. Since this is going to be the bottom right, we don't need that arrow. So now we can go to the technical part, which is Control K and then set it to next slide. For the bottom row, next slide is okay, but then you want it to be going to the right slide. So slide number 2 here, as you can see. That will then take you to the next slide. So this, you can also left click instead, then click link. And that is then how. So now as you can see, we can now go from the slide to slide. You can also instead just click on it and Alt Enter. Or just click on it and then click on the link right there. So then you can just get them all to go to the next slide on the right side. And then on the way back, it's supposed to go to the slide before. So this is supposed to go to the fourth slide. This is supposed to go to the third slide. And this is supposed to go to the second slide. And that is already set to slide 1. So now we pretty much have the basics. So since this is a 3x3, we can go ahead and select all of these. And then over here, copy and paste it. So now we're going to make a copy of this guy that goes to the bottom. Right now we don't need that, but I'm just going to save it. Oh wait, first, just because I think it's easier to just remove the links from them when copying. There we go. So now we just make the other 10 and bam. So now this is supposed to go to the next slide and next slide, next slide, and bam. Now we can remove this because this is supposed to be the end. And then this is supposed to go to the 9th, 8th, the 7th, and last but not least, the 6th slide. Bam. So now you can go to the left and to the right. Now how I want to do it is by making all these, lines, the rows, and then connect those the three rows together. Because that's what I think is easier. So just want this. Now this is the top, so we don't need right over here. We can just remove these guys and bam. Now we have this. Go bam, 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 and remove it over here. 10 over the 11th over here. So yeah. Now we just connect this to the next slide. And so on and so on. And there. So now we have all the rows. You can move, as you can see. You can also go back, but we cannot move down. So I'm going to start with the first row. We want 1 to connect to, plus it with 5. Because we are having a 5 by 3. So it's not. So this is going to be then slide number 6. Instead of 12, this is going to be 7. Then we have 8, 9, and 10. Now we can move up. Oh no. There we go. Now we can move up. And it is basically the same, so just plus it with 5. So this is 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11. And boom, you can now move up. But here's the problem. How do I move down? Well, this will be, that's just 11 minus 5, which is then 6. So you go to slide number 6, then go to the right, slide number 7, slide number 8, slide number 9. Oh, that's 90. And slide number 10. And this will then be slide number 5, because 10 minus 5, that's 5. Then 4. 3. 2. And 1. So now you should be able to move freely as you want. Go all the way to the corner, go down, go up. Yeah. So now you can DM by having your character. You can say your character is this simple person, for example. Just gonna cut it to size. So now we have a person here. You can then DM the guy and make him walk around. Of course, do guy stuff. I don't really know what he does. And then when you want to move to the right, then just Control X or right click and then cut. And then go to the next slide, Control V or right click paste. And then you have your character. We can also leave our character at, for example, we could say up here. Here we can leave the character just sitting around. Then we can move back down to the beginning. And then have a friend. This is just where you can for example have enemies around, just around generally. And then you can have your character walk around until they find that enemy. And then bam. Okay, it didn't copy and paste there. Now your player has met the enemy. For fast travel, I would recommend, going into presentation mode and then just click on here, because then you don't need to click on it and click on the link, or click on it and then Alt Enter. Oh yeah, that's how you make a TTRPG in Google Slides.